Welcome to the Desert Vision. On this edition, we take you to the Native American observance on Camp Arifjan. We highlight the holiday events that took place all over Kuwait and get to know some cuddly critters helping people feel more at home right here on Camp Arifjan. All that and more on this edition of the Desert Vision. Welcome to the Desert Vision. I'm Sergeant Rick Gallardo. Sergeant Roland Sobrepena takes us to Camp Arifjan, where members of the 3rd Army team enjoyed this year's Native American Month observance.
November is National Native American Heritage Month, and here in the Zone 1 chapel at Camp Arifjan, Kuwait, soldiers are learning about Native American culture from soldiers within their ranks. Specialist Kelly Lynn Joe explains why she participates in these events.
Is to put out there and have people learn about not only Native Americans in general, but more specifically would like to learn their language and their culture.
Over 70 soldiers and civilians attended this observance hosted by the 160th Signal Brigade. There was a panel discussion where 6 soldiers of Native American ancestry answered questions about issues important to Native Americans. Observances like this brings attention to the proud traditions and culture of Native Americans. For Arson Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Roland Sobrepena.
Next, Sergeant Ben Kelly introduces us to the Animal Companion Program taking place right here on Camp Arifjan.
Camp Arifjan, Kuwait offers a unique way to relieve stress. The American Red Cross teams up with volunteers to bring dogs and cats to help soldiers feel a little bit more at home. American Red Cross Station Manager Michael Jowers tells us a little more about the Animal Companionship Program.
This is a very unique program because we don't have many offices in theater. We have 3 offices in theater. And out of those 3 offices, we're the only one that actually has a structured animal therapy program.
Every week, soldiers are encouraged to spend time at the resiliency centers on post with the animals brought in by volunteers like Mary Joffrion.
I got into the therapy dog because I really enjoy being around people and going to visit them. And you know, people just forget about what's going on in their lives and relax when they see the dogs. I mean, it's not for me, it's for the dogs and the soldiers. We'd like to bring smiles to people's faces.
I like it because there's not many animals out here, and it does remind me of my own, and I get super excited when I see any kind of animal.
Michael Jowers also said bonding with animals provides a unique way to heal and move on from traumatic experiences. Reporting for Arson Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Ben Kelly.
And now the Blackjack Express with Specialist Jeffers.
Hello, and welcome to the 1st Theater Sustainment Command's Blackjack Express. I'm Specialist Kelsey Jeffers. Coming up on this edition, sexual assault is an issue that the Army and the 1st Theater Sustainment Command take very seriously. Join the 1st Team as they combat this issue with the help of several troops. And did you know that each year the President signs a proclamation declaring November Military Family Month? But first, Sergeant Scott Papa shows us how he uses his job skills to create a work of art and adds a little flavor to this season's festivities. Specialist James Bowen Jr. has more on the story.
Soldiers of the 1st Team specialize in a variety of different job skills. One of the NCOs, Sergeant Scott Papa, who's a food service specialist, has developed a very unique skill: ice sculpting. Sergeant Papa has been using this skill to add a special touch for many events throughout the unit.
Not so much a hobby. I mean, it's something that I enjoy doing, but it's more of a additional skill that I can use to improve my knowledge in my MOS, to make me a better cook in the Army, better 92 golf. But I do enjoy doing it. It's something that I enjoy. It's creative.
Ice sculpting may seem unimportant, but it can serve many purposes, from inducing a relaxing atmosphere and fine dining experience to showcasing talent while adding to a festive environment. Ice sculptures are something that almost anyone can enjoy, but there's also a high degree of technical skills that come with sculpting ice.
It takes about 4 days to make. The process, make sure that they're clear. You put pumps in it. Submersible pump, it circulates the water, keeps all the contaminants out of it, and it keeps it from getting feathering, what we call feathering, which is where it would be cloudy on the inside. This block of ice would be completely clear. We pull it out and let it temper. Just like this piece right here. It's been sitting out. You see it's nice and clear. They done this purposely. This is feathering, where it's white like that, like an ice cube.
Not only is Sergeant Papa an NCO and food specialist by trade, he has learned and applied an advanced skill within his career field. Ice sculpting is an MOS-specific skill available to all food service specialists and can be an asset in both the Army and civilian professions. Reporting for the 1st Theater Sustainment Command from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, I'm Specialist James Bowen Jr.
If you or anyone you know who is a food specialist would like to participate in an ice sculpting class, check with your Unit Installations Culinary Arts program to see if these unique classes are available. Also, please join us on our next edition of the Blackjack Express as we highlight the Culinary Arts program again with a very special competition. Several soldiers with the 1st Theater Sustainment Command take a stand against sexual assault as the Army faces this issue head-on.
Sexual assault remains one of our nation's most underreported crimes in both the military and civilian community.
The Department of Defense estimates over 19,000 sexual assaults occurred in the military in 2010 alone.
Men can be and are sexually assaulted. Current stats indicate that 1 in 6 men are sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Sexual assault of men is thought to be greatly underreported.
An average of 1 in 6 women and 1 in 32 men in the United States experience some form of sexual assault in their lifetime.
Men, women, and children of all ages, races, religions, and economic classes can be and have been victims of sexual assault.
Help us end sexual harassment.
Because we
are all battle buddies.
For more information about sexual assault and the programs the Army has available to combat this issue, contact your Unit SHARP representative or call the SAFE Helpline, a DoD support line for sexual assault, at 877-995-5247. Again, that's 877-995-5247. The annual Military Family Appreciation Proclamation, made every year by the President of the United States, marks the beginning of a celebration of the military family in which the Department of Defense and American public will honor the commitment and sacrifices made by the families of the nation's service members. During the holiday season, military families serving around the world are honored through a variety of observances and recognized for their commitment and the many contributions they make every day in support of the military in our country. Efforts to recognize the sacrifices of the military family by active, Guard, and Reserve leaders are being joined and supported by DoD organizations to include the Army Air Force Exchange Service, Defense Commissary Agency, and others. Community leaders, businesses, military bases, and posts are teaming up to recognize military families through special events such as open houses, fun runs, family fun nights, and community dinners, discounts at MWR facilities, local business and sporting events, and special recognitions during community activities throughout the month of November. For more information about the events being scheduled in your area, please contact your installation's MWR or Family Services office. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for watching. Stay up on the latest news by logging onto our Facebook page, keywords 1st Theater Sustainment Command. See you next time, 1st Team. Now back to the Desert Vision.
Thanksgiving is a special time for families to come together in America. And although we were away from family and friends, we still managed to make the best of the Thanksgiving holiday here in Kuwait.
Camp Arif Jan Kuwait celebrated Thanksgiving this year through a feast and fellowship. Members of the Camp Arif Jan family enjoyed a delicious spread put on by the Arif Jan dining facilities. Lieutenant General Vincent K. Brooks and Command Sergeant Major Stephen Fournier took time out of their holiday to personally serve the troops. Although they were away from family and friends back home, contractors, service members, and DoD employees enjoyed Thanksgiving just the same. Reporting for Arsen's Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Ben Kelly.
Soldiers and other service members throughout Kuwait spent a unique Thanksgiving Day courtesy of the Kuwait chapter of the Association of the United States Army. AUSA, as well as local Kuwaiti and American companies, reserved the Seashell Resort for service members as a way to give back to the troops during the holidays. Over 250 service members participated in this beachside event, which included a concert and a visit from the American ambassador to Kuwait. The day ended with a truly memorable Thanksgiving banquet filled with traditional and exotic foods. For Arsen Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Roland Soberpena.
Sergeant Adam Stone spent some time with Army mariners while they practiced towing operations in the Persian Gulf with the Navy. We take you now to that story.
The Army Reserve Mariners of the USAV Five Forks got valuable experience working with the Navy during a towing exercise. It was an opportunity for the Navy ships and Army boats to work together. Staff Sergeant Garrett Jeffers of the 492nd Theater Harbor Operations Detachment explains they don't always speak the same language.
We have Army commands that have Navy terms, so sometimes the terms get messed up, but it's a challenge, but we got through it.
Even though the Five Forks is cruising at 3 knots behind the fleet ocean tug USNS Catawba, Jeffers tells us why rigging a ship for towing is dangerous work.
So if you get your hands caught, you got a second opportunity to get free of your hands. Either the seas can shift, the boats can do too much speed, and things can tense up, and the lines can snap.
Aboard the Five Forks on the Persian Gulf, I'm Sergeant First Class Adam Stone.
Next we go to the Camp Arif John Zone 6 stage, where Armed Forces Entertainment featured actor and comedian Tommy Davidson. I was there to get the story. The threat of rain didn't keep service members on Camp Arif John from coming out to see funny man Tommy Davidson perform his stand-up act on the Zone 6 stage. The movie and television star, most commonly known for his characters on the 90s sketch comedy show In Living Color, and his roles in movies such as Booty Call and Joanna Man, stopped in Kuwait as part of an Armed Forces Entertainment-sponsored tour of military installations around the Middle East.
The person who played on Mark.
Oh, okay. I was on TV. Somebody tell him I'm here.
Even after the Kuwait skies opened up, most of the audience stayed to soak up some more laughs. Well, that's it for this edition of the Desert Vision. If you have a great story idea or know of someone doing something interesting on post, let us know on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/arson3news. For Arson Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Rick Gallardo.